Right now, I am just leaving Fairbanks on the Parks Highway, which connects the two biggest cities in Alaska, Fairbanks and Anchorage. Along the way, there's Denali National Park, which is where I'm actually heading to, which is about 130 miles from here. Right now, you can probably see behind me, it's very gray because there's really big forest fires going on in Fairbanks, and so the air quality is actually pretty atrocious. After climbing up to this mountain, it got a little bit better, but it's still like very smoky in the air. You can feel it in your throat and almost in your eyes at times. The smoke is getting noticeably worse, so actually this is how I'm gonna be riding. Oh my God, dude, this smoke is atrocious. I don't know if you can see it well on the video, but it's really bad. The smoke out here really, really sucks. I really feel it in my throat right now. Oh my God, it's horrible. While cycling through the smoke, I met Gabriel from Germany. Together, we pushed on through the bad air and eventually camped on the side of the road. In the morning, our tents were completely covered in ash. Fortunately, the wind changed direction in the morning, and the smoke cleared as we approached Denali Park. So I'm currently on the Parks Highway, and I'm at Denali Park, but I'm gonna try to go to the park road of Denali. It's kind of confusing, but the gist of it is, I'm on a big highway. There's a road that goes through Denali, the national park, and I'm gonna try to go onto that. But it may or may not have some closures due to like a landslide, so we're gonna see how that goes. Camping here is gonna be a lot more expensive, but I mean, it's Denali, it's beautiful, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, I'm really excited. Hopefully I can see the mountain tonight or tomorrow morning. The next morning, I was on a bus all alone, heading into the backcountry. So I just carried my bike and all my stuff down these stairs back here. From here, I have to get around this big rock slide that went down up there. What happened here is that the permafrost underneath the rocks has started to melt, and that's caused the rocks to start slipping. This is a problem when the road goes over there. Right now, due to global warming, that slipping is going at a rate higher than they're able to maintain a road on there. So the only solution is to build a bridge that goes around this. However, that's gonna take a lot of time to build. So right now, this whole area is locked off to vehicles, no vehicles can pass by. But if you are walking or on a bicycle and you have a backcountry permit, you can follow this river and get around it. So the goal is gonna be get around this river and get to the other side of the rock slide where we can get back on the Parks Road and have the whole place to ourselves for the next couple days and have some of the most beautiful riding ever. We're hoping to see good views of Denali, but even this behind me is just incredible already. So let's try to do it. It's gonna be about 5 miles of pushing the bike, maybe riding the bike. This looks pretty rideable. We're gonna see what we can do. Let's do it. All right, looking like there's no option left but to just send it across the river here and hope for the best. We're gonna get wet, but we're gonna hope it's not too bad. The best bet here is to just cross as many small streams as you can. It's the same amount of water coming down, so if you can cross where it's split up, it's gonna be not as deep and not as fast. All right, here we go. We're gonna cross this. Wish me luck. Oh shit, I'm stuck on a rock. We're gonna come up this way, cross there, come over, cross, kind of rapid to that point, and then get to the other side. Probably back here, there's a few rocks I might be able to stand on. I've been seeing a lot of cycle tracks, so I'm definitely not the only one out here doing this right now. And I wasn't. Shortly after, I saw a small family of caribou crossing the stream. Okay, just kidding, I did see some people too. We pushed our bikes together up the rest of the road before going off at our own paces. Finally made it to the park road and there's nobody here. This is just beautiful. Back here is what appears to be an abandoned bus stop. It seems like it used to be a stop where the bus would take people to do some sightseeing, and there's a lot of toilets around here, but they all say closed. I checked one of them and it was actually open and you could probably use it. I'm not gonna check the others, but it's really interesting that this was probably a very popular place. There would be people here all the time, but as of right now, there's just absolutely nothing. That wasn't the only abandoned place in the back of the park road. Campsites, ranger houses, and even a visitor center have been left the way they were at the end of 2021. Looking at the calendar hanging up in the visitor center was surreal. The years counted up from 2016, skipped over 2020 thanks to the pandemic, and then remained stuck at 2021. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of post-apocalyptic vibes looking at this beautiful visitor center with nobody here and everything shut down. It really kind of feels like you're in a zombie apocalypse back here where there's just nobody around for miles. And you have this just the most beautiful road I've ever been on in my life, almost entirely to yourself. Walking up on this hill behind the nice visitor center that has a nice clean bathroom, digging a hole and taking a shit in it in the middle of the view of the road in this beautiful place is maybe the weirdest thing I think I've ever done in my life. Joking aside, I set up my tent on top of a hill overlooking Denali. My plan was to leave my stuff there and ride a naked bike down to the end of the park road and back up, sleeping again in the same location the next night. Going to bed with views of Denali. Good night. Overnight, the clouds slowly cleared out, and at 2 a.m., I was met with perfectly clear views of the mountain for the very first time. It is about 2:15 a.m. right now, which is about the maximum the sun is going to go down. And Denali is perfectly clear. Wow. Woke up in the morning to see Denali is completely out. Not a cloud in the sky, but there's a little bit of smoke on the horizon. I'm not too happy about that. Hopefully it doesn't get much worse, but this is just beautiful right now. I will never get tired of just seeing Denali in the background like this. This is amazing. And having this whole road to myself is unbelievable. Coolest thing I've ever done. Oh, and look at that. Speaking of cool things, this guy's on the road. Holy shit. There he goes. This trail is making its way down a valley, and the further down the valley gets, the worse the smoke is getting. The view of Denali is not near what it used to be now, and I'm guessing the further I go, it's gonna keep getting worse. I don't know if it's just that the smoke is blowing up from this way and it's getting worse up top too, or if it's just getting worse the lower I descend. Hopefully it's just that, and then my view will be good tonight, but I don't know, we're gonna see. I'm hoping this clears out. It's a little depressing that it's a clear day and Denali is almost invisible. The smoke only got worse, so I turned around at the Wonder Lake campground. I woke up this morning and Denali is in the clouds and smoke, but to be honest, the view here is almost just as good. In the morning, it was time to go back down to that river where the bus will pick me up. It wasn't a perfectly clear day, but still beautiful nonetheless. I'm back. This is the stream right here where I'm gonna have to push the bike for 5 miles. Not looking forward to this, to be honest. It's a lot colder today than it was last time. I'm gonna have to cross some creeks, and it looks like it might start raining, so it might be a cold and wet one, but once I get to the other side, I can take a bus out of here and get to safety. Going back the other way proved to be a lot faster. I knew the routes and didn't have to guess which parts of the river to cross. We're basically at the end, but we actually have one really difficult part left. We have to get the bike and all the gear up these stairs. That's where the bus is gonna pick us up. So we're gonna just take everything off and then probably do like 5 trips and then be done with it. At the top of the stairs, I was greeted by a bus driver who told me that due to wildfires at the park entrance, the entire park was shut down and that I needed to evacuate. These fires actually started the day that I had arrived in the backcountry, but because I didn't have cell service, I had no idea that they were going on. The campgrounds were closed and nobody was allowed to enter the park. As we drove closer to the entrance, we descended into thick smoke once again. This time I could see the fires up close. I ended up riding into town to see what I could do, but the town's water and electricity were all down. While frantically searching for where to go next, I was offered a ride 10 miles north to Healy, where the high school was set up as a makeshift refugee for people displaced by the fire. They allowed me to set up camp there for the night and to take a nice hot shower. The fires shut the park down for the next 2 weeks. I couldn't help but feel fortunate that I was able to get in and see this amazing place while I could, and that I was able to get out safely.